So Ted, earlier on you were talking about mental health and the link between the sort of high levels of mental health problems we have at the moment in Ireland and the disconnect between man or humans and nature. Would you see a link between the two?
R.D. Lang, my brother was the floor manager of the Late Late Show for 25 years, John Cook.
Okay.
And he had to manage R.D. Lang.
Oh yes, yeah.
The psychiatrist,
yeah,
who came on the Late Late Show extremely drunk.
Okay.
Interestingly, he communicated with most of the people who were drunk in the public houses anyway. But
yeah.
but Lang redefined schizophrenia not as a split personality, but as a broken heart.
Okay. Okay.
That could be fixed. That needs to be fixed.
Took it from the head and put it where it should be, in the heart. Would that
yes, we're living far too much in our head. I remind us that the translation from the very ancient Irish, now we're in the realm of Bronze Age Irish, pre-Owen. Wednesday, Caidina. Thursday, Derahina. Friday, Dehina. Hina is a day without flesh. It's a day of fast. Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. The first fast was Wednesday, the second fast was Thursday, and the day of the proper fast, which probably included egg and white produce, milk and so forth, fish. Friday was a pure break from protein. I was in a primary school during Tree Week in Inchigeelagh, and the children in 6th class pressed me. Our numbers are going up. We're going to be 9 billion human beings, every one of them precious, every one of them different, and having a different experience within this lifetime. They've got to be clothed, housed and fed. So how can we ever keep the forest? How can the human being maintain forest when our numbers are swelling?
Yeah.
And I said, now your parents won't like this. Your teachers are with me, and I got a nod from the principal, Margaret Lucy.
Yeah.
And I said, we're eating far too much meat. We're eating far too much protein. We're eating meat 3 times a day. Now, that protein can lead to mental illness. It's far too much protein. It's really intense stuff in our brain. So that we talk of trying to get out of our heads.
Yeah.
And the only way out of our heads that I know that works is obviously through different forms of, do we naturally meditate? Is it natural for the human being to be still and to focus the mind? Perhaps it is. I don't know that, but certainly what we have to do when we do turn to prayer and stillness of mind and try and address the Lord of Silence, it's to do with quietening the mind. And I think too much protein makes the mind very excited and leads to mental illness. There is a connection with mental illness with too much protein. We think of the hazel. Dennis and I are both vegetarian. We think of the hazelnut. Why was the hazel a lord of the forest? How did people thousands of years ago in this island know that there's more protein in hazel, 1.5 times more protein in hazel than there is in hen's egg?
Okay.
So
that's
vegetable
where they would have been
protein.
getting a lot of their protein from.
A lot of the proteins were coming from the hazel.
And animal sources.
Oh, animal sources as well. But they regulated the resources. Today, when we all are eating so much meat every day, it takes so much land. The United Nations tell us 5 acres is required for 1 cow, to fatten 1 cow.
They estimate it has the biggest contribution to climate change. The meat industry, if you like, has, or one of the biggest contributions to carbon dioxide emissions.
Yes, and yet Minister Coveney, young Simon I call him, with the Food Harvest Programme 2020, to increase milk and farm output. Last year, 48 million tonnes of slurry were spread on our small 26 counties. To double that to 92 million. tons of slurry. The rivers cannot take it.
Rivers can't take
So to rediscover, it's not something new. Anything I've said to Nisha and you, there's nothing new. I've said nothing new. This has been always known in every generation. And that is that we've gone very far from the forest. When I go swimming, I never go too far from the land. And
we've
gone too far from the land. We've
land.
swum too far from home, and we must now begin to not forget home. And where is home? And home is inside us.
While I'm talking to you, these number of words going through my head are all pretty much the same word: reconnection, disconnection, connection. And I don't know why they're going through my head, but I think I asked you original question was about disconnect with nature. So do you think that, obviously from what you're saying, that exists, that disconnection from nature? Can we reconnect though?
Well, the Society of Psychoanalysts in America have called this WHO phenomenon Nature Deficit Disorder, NDD. Have you heard of it?
Yes, indeed, yeah.
It's that we're developing a sickness because we are not in touch with the source of our oxygen, with the source of our water. My brain is 88% water. I'm not looking after my rivers. Our local village just upriver in Tregeela, the sewage flows raw into the River Lee. Many, many villages in the west of Ireland, the sewage is flowing raw over the freshwater pearl mussel, and in the black water, I doubt it. The black water, they're a lot more conscious of the black water and so forth, because they still have salmon in the black water. Because of the hydroelectric dam in the Lee, no salmon has come up. And it's just simply to redevelop scrutiny, the skill of scrutinising.
When you say scrutinising, how
well,
just tell me about that.
Well, you know, if mild autism can be defined as central incoherence, developing a scrutiny, meaning distinguishing that lichen from that lichen.
Yeah.
This edible plant from that non-edible lichen.
Yeah.
Very primitive, the lichen, very, very primitive.
Yeah.
Still not understood by science. Is it a plant, is it a fungus?
It's a combination, isn't it?
It's a combination,
Yeah.
but it cannot be placed in the plant evolutionary tree. So when you scrutinise and look around and take note, Ireland's botany, we have maybe about 817 true native ancient wild flowering plants.
Right.
Most of them are, you have to nearly get down. You know, the Irish lady's tresses, the Irish eyebright. You have to nearly get down to fold out the grass, to scrutinise. We need to go back to scrutinising. We need to go back to the more subtle reality. If we're to stay with the magic, we need to look at the little things. I'm reminded, I read Lord of the Rings in the late 60s, and what I do always remember about the Hobbit and Gandalf. And Gandalf said, it's actually the little things, the smallest little acts of kindness by the human being fastens the gates of hell within the cosmos. Profound statement. Tolkien was an external examiner in UCG living in the Burren when he wrote Lord of the Rings. And he put in Gandalf's words how important the little things are.
Yeah.
The little, you and I can never achieve full consciousness. We're too forgetful, we're too distracted. The world robs you and me day and night. But the little things and those little moments when we are awake, they're very, very precious times, because at those times you're with you. And you and I must wake up with each other every morning for the rest of our lives. How are you getting on with you?
Yeah.
That's the ultimate question.
Yeah, it is. I think we're in a culture where the solutions are outside all the time rather than inside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Where is the kingdom? Every master walking in the past and in the present and the future. Well, the future we don't know. But if you look at the Lord Buddha, the Lord Christ, the Lord Krishna, all of the masters have told us the kingdom of heaven is not out there. The kingdom of heaven is within yourself. Start mining, start digging. We only have so many years here to fall in love with ourselves.
Absolutely. Okay. That's really
We need to fall in love with our own self. What I'm looking for, I was asked recently, who are you? I said, me.